We are ready. We're ready for you.
I actually can't find my phone. Oh, here they are. Okay. Okay, I'm going to turn this thing around. Okay, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Let me clean this camera off. Okay. Excuse the parakeets, you guys. So, what does Joe Biden truly feel about Kamala Harris being his running mate, his VP? All right. So the first thing I want to call your attention to is this stone and this tile right here. While it did not land on the stone, I mean on the tile, which is for the past, it's still close enough to indicate that there's some energy involved with this tile. So basically what this is saying is that he felt that she was dangerous or reckless in the past. He feels like some of her past behavior could be problematic for them going forward. So he's slightly concerned about that. It didn't land entirely on the tile. So we know it's not a major concern, but it is something that gives him pause. Birds, please. Please, please, please. Okay. The next tile is for Baba Ogun. And you'll notice here that we have the love stone. This is a rose quartz. And we also have the shark's tooth over Ogun. And so what this is saying is that he feels like she likes to fight. Okay, so he's kind of coming into this relationship with some of those stereotypes and tropes, you know, of her being the angry Black woman. Her behavior is possibly dangerous to the ticket, but he feels like that she likes to fight, and that's dangerous for them. Is basically what this tile is saying. Below that, he also feels that she's a little immature because we have the baby with the amplification stone over it. So basically, he feels like she might be a little young. I mean, she's much younger than he is. And so that's something that gives him a little bit of concern. So far, just in the few tiles that I've read, I'm feeling like he is not entirely comfortable with her as a choice. He is worried that she will be involved in some type of abuse, either abusing her position, her power, or maybe just outright abusing him. And he thinks that that's going to cost him because this is the money stone over abuse. So he's feeling like that there's going to be some sort of abuse of power that's going to be an issue that's going to be costly. Here we have again anger in the sacral chakra. So he's feeling like anger is a problem for her. He's nervous. Yeah. We got the survival stone over fear. So he's biting his nails literally, and he's praying that this is going to push him through. He's not sure that he made the right decision. He's actually wondering if he's going to win, you know, having her on the ticket. Look, he's afraid that he made a foolish decision. This is the anchor. It's actually hematite. And it is over the clown. So he feels like he's maybe even been foolish in his decision to team up with her. It also feels like he was pushed into doing it for financial reasons, because I have the trophy over poverty. So she was his ticket out of poverty. I guess she helped him raise additional funds. That's kind of how he got here. So he's kind of looking at her like, like a trophy. Like she got him out of the poorhouse, you know, because of her, he made some money. So I think that he may even feel a sense of responsibility to her. His Ori is not feeling this decision at all. Okay, so this is the Ori, which is the deity of our higher self. I'm just going to say that for an easy way to explain it. And so the cowrie is closed, as you can see. So his Ori is not feeling this decision at all. Really, he did not make this decision, is what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing from this board. This was a decision that was probably made by the DNC, and he just went along with it. It wasn't his choice. There's going to be some interference, and it's buried. Whatever is going to come, they're definitely going to have. They're going to have some disagreements. They're not going to see eye to eye on everything. And this is buried. Neither one of them actually know. This is Olokun, so this is the deep sea. Neither one of them actually know the extent to which they are going to disagree. So this is quite interesting, okay? It's not going to be smooth sailing for these two. I don't know how far this stretches, if this is going to be something that's going to happen now, or you know, as we get closer to election time. I'm not actually even seeing, you guys see, this is the finish line right here. I'm not even seeing it being indicated that they're gonna win, you guys. But that wasn't the question though. The question was, what does he feel about her? Okay, so I'm not gonna take that to heart too much. You know, again, here we have, you know, the tile for meditation and the shark's tooth over his head. You know, this is something he really feels like she's dangerous. I think he feels like she's a wild, you know, a loose cannon. She could possibly fuck his shit up. And he's praying that doesn't happen. I get the smoky quartz over the prayer hands. So he's praying for like unseen troubles. Okay. So it's almost like he's uneasy, and he knows, like I said, his Ori, this isn't sitting well with his Ori. Okay. This is not really what he wanted. And he knows that there's some trouble on the horizon, and there absolutely is, and it's buried. And I think he has some sense of that. We can't forget how old this man is. He has the ashe of wisdom, if nothing else, the ashe of age. Okay, so he knows that there's some things that are going to come and be an interference, and he's praying about these things already. He's praying in advance, like, please, you know, don't let this destroy our chances. So he is in meditation and prayer about whatever dangers are on the horizon for him and her. This is interesting right here. I have the dream catcher with the fool's gold over it. So again, you guys, this is not his decision, okay? He's saying that this was somebody else's dream, and all that glitters is not gold. Okay, y'all wanted to see a Black woman on his ticket. He went along with it, but he doesn't think that this was really the best decision. All right, he is not completely feeling Kamala. Fool's gold. You know, it's a dream. It sounds good, but it's not all that it's cracked up to be, is what he's thinking about her. It looks good, but it's not really, it's not all that it could be. I think he probably had another candidate in mind. I'm really feeling that from seeing this. Their communication is changing. Maybe it's changing for the better, because this is the transformation stone. It's a river rock. This also has to do with Oshun. So it's almost as if, you know, they're learning to speak more sweetly to each other. They're communicating better. He's learning how to talk to her in a way that works. Like I said, this is also Oshun energy. So we know that Yeye is probably there trying to help this work out. Over the woman, I have the creativity stone, and I have the amethyst. So this is very interesting, because the amethyst is the sober stone. So this is kind of saying the sober truth is, you know, he has to create a way to work with this woman. That's the sober truth. You know, again, I am confident after going through all the tiles on this board, this was not his choice, but he's going to make the best of it. And then this is really interesting because this is the cornucopia right here. And the only thing that we have is the ancestor stone over the cornucopia. So this is almost saying that what they have, what he feels like he has coming to him is death. So he's just like, if I could just stay alive long enough to win, I'll be good. I'm not looking, basically he's lived his life. He's not looking forward to too much. He knows that in the end, he will become a powerful ancestor, and making it to the presidency is going to be something that he is doing for his bloodline. Okay. And so really that's what this is talking about. It's not saying that his death is imminent or anything like that. It's saying that he will be a blessing in the form of an ancestor to his descendants, and that this presidency is going to kind of be part of that ancestral stimulus package that he's putting together, for his bloodline. And that is really all that I see. That's all that I see.
Thank you very much for that. That was a very great reading. I'm pretty sure people are applauding. Whitney, you will be up next, so make sure you show up and show out. Thank you, Priestess O'Shawn from K for that.
You are quite welcome. Hugon, I'm going to stay on as long as I can, and then I'll just quietly hop off when I have to, okay?
Okay, so what Priestess O'Shawn from K did exceptionally well is that she started the reading off. So for those of you all that are going to be doing bone reading, what I always emphasize is that you interpret the bones via the proximity to the tile. How close is the bone to the actual tile? Such as, did the bone fall off the board? Is the bone very close to the tile? Because it will tell you, the proximity will tell you the levels of intensity or the type of relationship that the bone has with the tile. Montrese, you know what I'm talking about? Okay. The other thing that she did is that she integrates E5 into her tiles. So she has the Ori tile, right? So that's going to be another thing that when you all are creating bone reading boards, and for those of you that are initiating, like Monse and Dizo, when you're thinking about the bone reading board that you want to create, you know what I'm saying? That's something to think about. Will the Loa speak through it? Another thing is that, very obvious, she gave an extremely detailed reading, which is the standard for what I'm expecting of you all. She also, when you all listen back to this over, she's going to say, I'm not going to take that to heart about whether Biden's going to have a victory or not, which indicates that she's a sophisticated reader. She's not going to give credence to that prophecy because she reminded herself what her original question was. Therefore, that information could be negligible and petty. Finally, pay attention to the bones that she chose. She used crystals. You know what I'm saying? She had calories, a boar's tooth, things like that. So those are some things to think about in terms of the creativity of the bones that you're going to use in your readings. And that's also, part of the science behind what makes O'Shawn from K a really good reader. Okay? All right, so Priestess Whitney.
Okay, so the question I also asked was, how does Joe Biden feel about Kamala Harris as his VP? The first card I got was the Page of Coins, which discusses new money within his campaign. So this tells me that he felt like Kamala Harris had new money to give to him. So he may have had a shortage during his campaign, and he felt that just having her, although she doesn't have a lot of money, would bring him more opportunities to continue his race within it. This man kind of sits upon this sort of cement-like tile, which discusses his leadership role and him trying to step into that role as he once did at one point in time. However, he's struggling, and he felt that having her around can give him that support that he needs. This river is a little bit short and a little bit thin, which tells me there's a shortage of money, support, and possibly ideas in his race. So he could possibly be feeling like he might not make it fully to become a president. The next card I pulled was the Ace of Swords, which discusses a new idea, which this opportunity for Kamala Harris to come to him was an idea that was given to him, not an idea that he thought of. And it was based off of the idea that Kamala has a lot of support, especially within the Black community. As you can see, these purple grapes represents the community that supports her. It's a very fruitful decision that they felt at the time. It will bring him more opportunities, more abundance. However, if you look at the top, you can also see the snake here, which indicates the fact that he felt that although she was a good idea and she does have a lot of support behind her, she is kind of a snake in the grass that he's not quite sure of. But that he thought if he had the support behind her just within the Black community, it will bring him enough to finish his race and possibly win the presidency. The final card that I got was the Two of Staffs here, which discusses opening roads. So he felt more at the time that Kamala Harris was someone that could stabilize his presidency and that she could bring forth more of a balance within his campaign so that not only he catered to the white community, but the Black community in hopes that he could win this presidency. But he is on shaky grounds right now. And he's not quite sure if he will fully reach the win that he's looking for. But overall, this wasn't a decision based off of emotions, but more of a strategic decision based off of diversity and finances. In my reading, it doesn't indicate that he's going to win, but more of that he's trying to become more of a worthy opponent rather than an actual winner within his campaign. He just wants to be viewed as someone that can win, but he doesn't actually believe that he will. And that is my reading. Hello?
Phenomenal. No, sorry. You did a phenomenal job with me. Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself without tapping and toppling over the thing. But no, you did a phenomenal job. That was a really, really good reading. And that was only just 3 cards, okay? So mind you all, Whitney did that with just 3 cards. So what she did was that she announced the key word of the card. I have the Page of Coins, which is talking about new money. And then from there, she told a story. And she was able to talk about how the situation that she's reading about is reflected in the keyword of the card, okay? And her intuition chooses the keyword that she could use. The Page of Coins could represent, the Page of Coins could have represented an archetype, right? It could have represented a new investor, okay? It could have represented a new politician. It could have been Kamala Harris, but instead her intuition gravitates towards it being money. So that's something important. She also offers a very deep analysis of the imagery in the tarot, which is going to be something that you all are going to have to do when you're reading tarot, is that you need to analyze the imagery in it, the symbolism, and also understanding the planetary rulers of the planetary and constellation rulers of tarot, which Whitney already knows. So she was talking about the snake, for example, which allowed her to see her ancestors were telling her that there was deception hidden within. There was something deceptive about the relationship between Biden and Kamala Harris. Whitney also has a broad vocabulary, which is important because sometimes readings can be redundant, but it also means that Whitney is someone that can make very clear mental distinctions between different concepts, such as her being able to say, you know, I am not saying, you know, my reading didn't say whether he was going to win or not, but it did say that he was just going to become a worthy opponent, which is important in explaining why it is, you know, basically people will want to know, is he going to win? And she's basically addressing that. It's not about winning, it's about him becoming a worthy opponent. The other thing is that Whitney was talking to herself throughout the reading, which means that she's asking herself questions, and she's asking herself, you know, is he going to win? And she's like saying out loud, no, my reader's not saying he's going to win. He's saying he's going to be a worthy opponent. No, it's not going to be about this. Does a snake matter? Yes, the snake matters. The snake matters in this way. This is how it matters. Okay, so she's talking to herself as she reads, which extends the length of her reading. Okay, so Whitney, very good job.
Also, Hugon, so from those 2 readings, we can draw a reasonable conclusion that Kamala came with some money, came with some donors and some financial pull. So it'll just be interesting to see how the readings you know, like at the end, if you could just summarize everything, you know, perhaps we'll have a very clear picture of what their relationship is like. Because both readings, you know, spoke to type of financial gain, you know, for him, or revitalization financially from him joining forces with her.
Lamisha.
Okay, so I did my reading for the second question, what the Senate plans on doing with the stimulus package when they come back in September. And the first card I got was the Four of Hearts, which is the marriage and family card. And I'm using the Gypsy Witch deck. So it's the playing card deck. It's the marriage and family card. And what that card told me is that they are looking for some type of stability in America right now, because it's like the family card, but I took it as like America. So they're trying to figure out how they're going to get America's economy back stable. Because then I drew the Five of Hearts, which is the card of like dissatisfaction in current situations. So this previous stimulus has put us in a situation with the economy that they're not telling America about. It makes me feel like we are in a depression, but they know that, and they're not telling us that we're in a depression. And so now, because I also pulled, my third card was the Five of Clubs. So now they're trying to figure out a different plan without like putting out more money. So they're trying to figure out a different plan so they don't have to put so much more money into the economy, because we're already in a depression, and they need to figure out how we're going to get out of it. So they're trying to find some stability back into the economy. So I think they're going to come up with a different plan. They're going to offer less. They're not going to offer the same stimulus package that they offered before. They're going to offer less, and then they're going to try to offer like, you know, they're going to try to give us like dangle some other stuff to make people feel satisfied again, to make them feel okay with what's going on right now. So that's what I got with my 3 cards. I don't usually just do 3 cards, but I tried to do as much as I could with these right here.
Yeah, I know how you.
Mm-hmm.
Take a shot. Hey, sorry.
Hi, guys.
Oops. Enjoy. Thank you. All right, so sorry y'all doing that. So yeah, Lamisha, one thing that you did really well is that your reading is layered, and that's your style. It's to read one card at a time, which is similar to Whitney, except Whitney is using it to tell an overall story, and yours is capturing different snapshots of a picture. But that's also because the way that you learn how to read is through the study of the traditional order of the Magi cartomancy system. And so she's able to understand the Five of Hearts to be emotional dissatisfaction. You know, she's able to distinguish between when a royal card is an archetype versus representative of the situation. But yeah, she's able to distinguish between when it's representative of a situation. The other thing is that one critique that I do have is that, and this is just minor, but when you say what I feel, like try to refrain from saying stuff like what I feel, find a more sophisticated way to talk about how your sentience is being activated.
Okay.
Yeah. Or when you're saying what I feel, say it with a lot more conviction. You know what I'm saying? Because people will oftentimes get
that I'm guessing. They would think I'm
exactly.
guessing.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're not guessing, but you're literally in the middle of a download. You're formulating the words. You're trying to get the picture. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Yep. I got it, because that's the same way I feel when I read it. I feel when I read it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how it comes off.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Next person.
That would be me. Okay, so I've turned it where you all can see my card. So the question is, what does the Senate plan to do about the stimulus package? So as I shuffle in my cards, I heard the words foolish and Trump. So that is related to this first row where the Senate is having a change of heart, because initially they went on break without finalizing this plan because they really didn't want to finalize this plan. They wanted it to go away in a low-key type of way and move forward, because we're now dealing with large sums of money that has had a major effect on the U.S. Treasury or the U.S. budget. So therefore, when Trump made the move of signing executive orders, expanding on the CARES Act, this made them look foolish because they weren't able to come to an agreement. So therefore, now they're having to have a change of heart in how they're going to shell out money to the American people who are still suffering, especially with additional people losing their jobs in the economy. And also, they're now having the Senate group is having a diversity in their values, or changing their values. Again, they're worried about the finances. They're worried about what is this going to do to the deficit? What can they do to lighten the load where the hit won't be so hard? And again, we have the Senate, as you can see, who's trying to bring stability to the American people in some type of way. And you have, in this case, you have the Senate at the top, and you can see they're the puppet masters of the American citizens that need that stability and protection at this time. And then you have the Queen of Diamonds, where they're trying to bring financial success to people. So they're trying to come up with a plan that will be most successful to the people overall. They know everyone is not going to be happy, but they're trying to come up with some type of way to help the people, but not in the way in which people were helping. So then we can have the Jack of Clubs, which telling us they're going to come up with a creative way to do this. However, it's going to be a little crafty, and it may have some dishonesty to it. And finally, it may not be the original package that people were expecting, but they're trying to come up with a way to give people what they want. But again, most people, once this final deal comes out, the average person is not going to be happy with it. So that is what I came up in regards to what the Senate plans to do. They want to try to do something, especially since Trump pulled an executive order on them, but it's them trying to see exactly what they can do to not look so bad and to move forward.
Okay, very good. That was, Montrese, that was really good. That was really good. I like that you have routinized like explaining to somebody like, okay, this is what I hear, this is what I feel. Because sometimes Montrese, if you all will look in the group, you will see Montrese will say something like, my cards were hard to shuffle. I heard this word, right? She's telling you these things before she even gets into the reading. Sometimes when you see me read on YouTube, I'll have a card fall out and then I'll just read it, right? And then I'll keep shuffling, right? And then I'll pull out like 9 cards and then continue on about the question. That's important. You want to sop up all the juice on the plate using your biscuit. And so it's important for you to be able to distinguish between when you are having an uncontrollable psychic experience versus when you're intentionally wielding your Ife and trying to divine about a situation. And so when we're thinking about what makes her reading good, she has legal and political knowledge that she integrated into the reading. And I've told my bone reading students before, if you know something from a different field, integrate it into your reading. If you're a sociologist, bring it in. If you are a chemist, bring it in. If you know that, like Whitney, for example, she knows the topical the topical side effects of using certain plants on your skin. She adds that to the magical herbalism. Montrese has an actual knowledge of the playing cards. Your reading was very detailed, it's very informed. I could tell by your interpretation of the Queen of Hearts and the Jack of Clubs. The one thing that I can say to you is that you know the cards very well, but what's going to advance your understanding of the card system, which may not be necessary, is to study the suits and study the numbers, not to study the cards. So study the suit, like if it's a Queen of Diamonds, study the queens in isolation. Study the diamonds in isolation, okay? And that's gonna help you with your reading. Okay. But I could tell, because when you were like, oh, this is gonna be creative, it's gonna be crafty, it's gonna be dishonest, I heard that Robert Lee Kemp. I heard it. And we know that the language that he uses is incredibly effective at, really trying to translate what's going on with somebody's situation, right?
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Good job, Mendizo.
Thank you.
Let's get one last person. Oh, that was it? Wait. Who
you
all
just
went?
2 people per question.
Wait, it was Whitney. It was Whitney and Dizo, Lamisha, and Oshun Funke?
Yes.
Oh, that's why. Okay. I thought, all right, cool. All right. So yeah, what else do y'all want to read about? Do y'all want to keep on this political rant? Do y'all want to go back into Will and Jada? Do y'all feel like we exhausted that? Is there stuff that we still need to pick up on?
Yeah, I'm over Will and Jada at this point.
I'm over Will and Jada too.
I am.
No more.
I do want to know more political stuff. I don't know all that's going on. There's a lot of fires happening. We could read on that.
Oh, the fires in California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do the fires in California, okay? So one question that we're going to ask is, are the fires in California punishment? Are the fires in California God's punishment for colonializing California? That's one question, okay? Are the fires in California part of God's punishment because that place has been colonized? Another thing that we're going to ask, what are local and state officials doing to prevent future fires? What are local and state officials doing to prevent future fires? Y'all, I'm coming up with these questions off the top of my head, okay? Another question we're going to ask is, are any of these fires man-made? Another question we're going to ask is, y'all give me one. Those are 3. Let's so we can give options.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna ask my board. I just want to know what the ancestors think about what they have to say about the fires in California, like what they will reveal. versus, you know, is it because of this or because of that? I just want to get a snapshot of what the hell's going on. What you think about that?
I'm totally down for it. They're still going to answer the same questions just to get the practice in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I agree with you. That what you're doing is more effective.
Okay.
And getting to the truth. It's more effective getting to the truth. Mm-hmm.
So is that a fourth question as an option, or are we going to stick with the 3?
A fourth as an option.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Got it.
Look at you petting the cat, Hugon. So sweet.
Okay. You gonna give your reading, O'Shawn?
Am I going to give you a reading?
No, you're supposed to be doing the reading. I thought the fourth question was, you're going to answer the fourth question. I mean, which was like, what's going on? I thought you were going to use your bones to.
So the fourth question is the first question and I go first? Okay, great. I can do it.
Yeah, I mean, you've been setting shit off anyway. Come on,
Okay.
Goldie.
Okay. Let me switch the camera. All right. So,
Goldilocks. Let's do it.
What do we need to know about the fires, the wildfires in California? They got a lot to say. All of these bones are on the board. It's only a cowrie that didn't land. Okay, so let's see what they're talking about. So I have a cowrie over the past, but it's down. So they're not talking about the past, which would basically mean that this is present tense. Okay, so they're indicating that they're not talking about anything past tense. The ancestors are speaking of disappointment and brokenheartedness. Okay, so this could indicate why this is being allowed to happen, why the fires are happening. There's some sort of disappointment with either the people of California or, it would have to be the people of California, whether it be the powers that be or not, we'll see. But there is some sort of disappointment, okay? And the cowrie is open, it's speaking. The ancestors are speaking on disappointment, okay? So they're saying, this is almost a scolding. Look, they're saying that this is that they're angry about this question, okay? And that we love to ask these types of questions because I get the rose quartz over questions and I get the anger stone over questions. So you can imagine like, a grandma or ancestor saying, you are always asking questions. You just love to ask questions, almost as if this is really none of our business, right? What's happening spiritually behind the scenes, if the people of California are being punished or not, they're saying, you love these kind of questions, and they're almost angry that we're asking. Look at this. This is the smoky quartz over the child. Okay, so they're saying that we don't see what's happening to the children in California. That's quite interesting. So there's some worry there. There's some concern for the children. It could be, the descendants, the ancestors that will soon be coming through, or those who have recently entered. There's some type of concern for them. There's a unique kind of poverty happening in California that the ancestors are speaking on. Okay, so this could actually be some sort of moral bankruptcy, you know, it's like, so this is the stone. This indicates a unique situation, and this is poverty. So it's as if the ancestors are saying, you know, there's a unique sort of poverty. You know, California may be morally bankrupt. They may be lacking resources in a very unique way, and these resources may not be financial. I'm feeling that they absolutely aren't. That really, it's more of a moral like turpitude that they're you know, referring to. Look, here I have the boar's tooth over prayer. So they're saying that, you know, the Californians could win with prayer. Like prayer could be their prize. Okay. Also, what do I see here? Okay, look. Over the clown, I have the heart, which is talking about romantic situations or just love in general. I have the penny, and I have the quarter. So they're saying that this foolishness is going to cost them. And it's the way that they love in California. So that's interesting, because this could have to do with that hippie culture. This could also have to do with, you know, alternative family styles or alternative ways of living. The ancestors are definitely passing judgment here. They feel like the people of California are being foolish in the way that they love. Maybe this hippie, you know, we are the world, we love everybody. Maybe they're saying that's fake. You know, we see through that. But there's definitely, there's not enough love. That's what this penny is indicating. There's not enough love, and it's going to be costly, is what the quarter is talking about. So this is interesting. Okay, I have the creativity stone over the woman. So they're saying that this situation was created by a woman. And what pops into my mind, and I'm not sure if this is spirit speaking or if this is the gears in my mind turning, so I'm going to let y'all know that. But what I feel here is that this might be speaking to the original or the last, the last rulers, indigenous rulers of California. You know, Hugon, you had mentioned in the beginning when you asked us to look at this situation, you know, you said, is it punishment? And I'm feeling like, you know, this is indicating that the situation has been created by the female ancestors of those indigenous people. You can actually even look into the name of the state California. They're saying you know, that it's named after Queen Khalifa, who was actually the indigenous ruler of those lands before it was colonized. So this could be being caused by her and her ancestry. I mean, they're tired of the situation. They want revenge, is what I'm hearing. I get the transformation stone over work, and also the shark's tooth. So this is saying that what they're doing hasn't been working. Okay, so the ancestors are doing something new. They gonna try to burn the shit. They gonna burn the shit to the ground. This is work that they're doing. This is what this is saying, and they know that, and it's dangerous. You know, they expect there to be casualties, but they're worried about the children. You know, they'd rather burn it to the ground, I guess, than see, you know, more generations suffer. I don't really know what the hell is going on in California. I never lived there. I don't know what kind of evil dwells there, but this is definitely a judgment, you know, from what I can see in the reading. The sober truth is, you know, this is exactly what the ancestors intend. Look, I got the bullseye with the amethyst over it. I mean, this is unmistakable. This is spiritual. You know, the ancestors, this is intentional. That's the sober truth, you know. Let's see what else is of note here. So this is an attempt to communicate, because I get the amplification stone over communication. So it's like the ancestors are saying, if these fires are not speaking to y'all, If they can't hear the message through these fires, through our anger, through our rage, you know, if you're not recognizing that Shango is raging war on the state of California, then, you know, then we're just going to have to speak louder. So they're threatening to continue, and to not only continue, but to amplify their communication. They're saying, you know, it's only going to get worse. And look, I have the danger, the shark's tooth over Shango. So definitely, Shango, this is war. This is war. The people of California are in danger. These fires are going to they're going to be going on all summer long. All summer long. This is summer. Okay, this tile indicates summer. This is the money stone. So it's going to be very costly. And then I have the ancestor stone over the first part of fall. So the fires will stop. The ancestors will stop what they're doing towards the beginning of fall. And that is the reading.
Thank you, Princess. That was great. That was really good. That was really, really good. That was really good. We have, well, not really any new students in here. Well, TT's here. But I want to get some new people. Let's get some new blood to try some stuff out. Who's gonna volunteer? If we ain't got no new blood to do a reading. Dr. Proctor, I already know you finna come with the bones. I already know. We already know Dr. Proctor's finna shit on people with these bones. But before Dr. Proctor comes in and snatches our wigs, can we get some new blood to volunteer? If you're not ready, I understand. All right, let's go, Dr. P.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Before she goes, I want to say I agree with Priestess Oshun when she made her comment based on the cards that I pulled.
Oh, okay. Anything else?
Oh, no, I was just saying when she pulled her cards, when it was talking about, because I did mine on the first question you asked. Yeah, so before I pulled my cards, I heard Mexico. So this has to do, I think, a lot to do with the Mexican-American War and how that land was acquired.
Can you explain a little bit more?
So basically,
more for us?
I'm sorry.
Can you just say just a little bit more? Just I get where you're going, but just like why is that important?
Well, for one, in my last row of cards, I got the 6 of Spades. So this is definitely karmic for California, and it is payback for them. And the city as a whole has financial success, but they are, in a sense, morally corrupt based off what they did to the original people of California, which were the Mexican people, the indigenous people of that land. So now it's time for them to pay up.
Okay, thank you. Manze say.
Yeah, so the question that I looked at was, is this man-made? And what I'll do is, I didn't know you wanted me to throw bones, so I'll just do a quick answer with the cards and I'll go into my bones. So it is man-made, but not in the way that you think it is. It's not some pyromaniac that's starting all of these fires. What I see is that this 9 of clubs in the park is talking about community expansion. And so what the builders have done in the past is that they have gone out into areas, not because they needed to, but because, you know, they wanted to build homes and expand communities. And so what tends to happen is you start to upset ecosystems. So the 5 of diamonds in the anchor, this is my card of the present, and it just talks about successful business ventures. So yes, for the housing market, this was a successful business venture. However, it did upset the balance of these ecosystems, and that's basically what I see. So the 5 of diamonds, or the red 5s, is about the wisdom of divine justice. And so that's what's causing this change. Like, you know, whenever we build into areas that we're not supposed to build in, and we start to encounter organisms and animals that our ancestors knew, you know, they have a certain space and we have a certain space, and we have to exist in that way. When we upset ecosystems for monetary reasons, then the environment speaks back. And that's the same thing that's happening with this virus that we have now. People have gone into areas where there are bats. People have gone into areas because they needed to hunt or whatever they needed to do. And so what happens is you start to encounter viruses, diseases, and organisms that you wouldn't normally encounter. So it is man-made in that way. And so in the future, I have the ancestor card. Okay, so I have this 3 of clubs and this ancestor card. And so we need to go back to the way that our ancestors did it. What we have forgotten are the types of agreements that we have with other types of life forms that live on this planet. And we all have to share space. Everything is shared, even sacrifices, all of those things. We have an agreement, you know, about how much space we can occupy and where we should be and where the animals should be. And when we trespass in those areas, then we start to have things like what we have now with COVID-19 and with these fires. And so this is the way of our ancestors speaking back to let us know that we're out of balance because we have gone to build in areas that we shouldn't be building in. And so with my bones, I see that there's some protection magic that's being done, because that's indicated by the thimble over the wand. So the ancestors are saying that some protection work definitely needs to be done, you know, while they deal with people who have gone into lands that they shouldn't be inhabiting. What I also see, and I won't go through all of my bones, is that this protection work is something that we must do. It's indicated by the ring over the mountain, because things are gonna get really hard as spirit tries to bring things back into balance. Like I said, we're going in and we're inhabiting lands that we shouldn't inhabit, and the animals and everything else need space as well. Spirit is also saying that this is something that we're going to have to let go of. So we're going to have to find a way to coexist with all life forms that live on this planet. And, you know, our ancestors were really good at doing that, because Africa is the place where all life meets. Okay, and I'll stop there. But the rest of the bones go back to what's on these cards. I'll just say that.
I feel like you all have a lot of commentary to give about what she had to say, and I'm just gonna allow you all to jump in, because I saw Whitney saying she got something. I know somebody done got something that's done got something. So go ahead and just say it. And that was really good, Dr. Proctor. That was amazing. That was amazing. Very good.
I just want to say, Dr. Proctor, you are on point about that housing, because my cards indicated that, and I'm actually seeing that, where I had got the 3 of coins to indicate that there was a partnership made to make more money. followed by the Empress, which discusses giving birth to new ideas, but also the Empress was sitting on this luxurious sort of like lounge chair, which indicates that this was made for those that are more upper echelon to create better housing for them. And the last card that I had was the Two of Swords, indicating that this was a concealment for the general public, and that these fires were happening at night in order to alleviate anyone from seeing this occurring. So I just want to say you're on point. And also there was a fire literally 2 cities over from me happening within like a large area that's not really habitated by anybody other than animals. And so all those animals are actually coming down to my city looking for places to stay. And now they're actually building homes as we speak after that fire happened. So I just want to say you're on point. Like, I was like, yes, Dr. Proctor, she's doing that.
I was getting the same thing. So I had pulled the King of Cups, the Judgment card, and the Two of Swords. And I really felt like a masculine energy. I really felt like it was a outcry for God wanting to speak to his people. I also got the Moon. So with the Moon, it made me feel like, give me a moment. I'm sorry, let me go back to the King of Cups. So yeah, I felt like this was like an outcry from God, right? Like he's trying to reach to his people. There's like a confusion that's happening with us spiritually and morally. There's like a detachment. And a lot of the children of the ancestors are going to different religions and seeking other types of substitutes for who they are, because they're not connected to the Ori, they're not connected to themselves at this point. So they're talking about their moral code, okay? The Judgment card is also with has the number 20. Also in this Judgment card, you see the chakras and the alignment. This is talking about how we're spiritually out of line. There's a lot of us, there's an outcry that the ancestors are having right now, that they are trying to have almost like disciples reach out to the public and bring them in. And that's not what I think. Californians really detach themselves spiritually, and they become a very vain. I'm from California, and they're very vain in how they act and the way they interact and accept people and the way they love people as well. And that's what Oshun Funke said as well. So Oshun Funke got a lot of the fiery energy. I felt like I had a lot of the water. There's like a bunch of water in my cards. I also have the Ace of Cups. So this is letting me know that there's a healing that needs to happen in the Black community and in the homes. They want us to, the ones that are stepping up and like, okay, I feel like this is the message for us right now. They're like the people that's in this chat. When you're getting this information, we have a mission after this. Like, you're supposed to have a mission. You're here for a reason, okay? I also have the Two of Swords. They don't want you to go back and forth. It's they're done going back and forth with whether you can be Christian and do this and whether you can be this and do that. They just want you to be and be connected to them. And that's what I feel like it's California, but I feel like the message is for everyone. You know what I'm saying? I have the Knight of Wands. So they want us to, because I have the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands. And even though it's the Eight of Wands, it's giving me that Wheel of Fortune look. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we got to change our future. Our goal should be like spiritual, because the wands represent spirituality. So we need to step into our higher selves and stop going back and forth. You can do this. Magic is not scary. You can do this. You are supposed to be a priestess. You're supposed to be a priest. That's what you're here to do. And that's why Huganzo has pulled you in. That's why those that are on Oshun Funke's students, that's why you all here. You're under, it's all divine plan. It's time for us to get back to the ancestors. This is my ancestors card. It's time for us to seek community and the ancestors. Once again, that will quiet the storm. They want us to be able to, that will call discernment. It's the number 10. It's the completion. They want us to, when we get back to our ancestors and bring that back into our home and get all of this Jesus bullshit out of the home, and these Jesus pictures and rhetorics and stuff out of the home, and bring in more of the ancestral worship and be comfortable in talking to our ancestors and praying to our ancestors, because they just want us here. We're supposed to be here, back here. And that's what they want from California, and that's what they want from us. That's the message.
That was amazing. L'Oreal.
I was nervous as fuck, who guys up.
L'Oreal. When I say you channeled that message, let me, y'all need to write this down so y'all can always remember this. There are people that are intuitives and there are people that are mediums. There's a difference. There's a difference. Okay? Those people y'all see on YouTube are intuitives. They can pull a card. They got to study that book, study a card, and they just got to, I'm just saying, they don't know what the hell they talking. They're all, you can tell that they're very mechanical. It doesn't mean that their readings are inaccurate, right? Still on point. But then there are times where people, you have a reader like L'Oreal. If you're familiar with L'Oreal, you know that wasn't L'Oreal.
Hold on, I want to say something because I've never seen L'Oreal read, and before you said that, I was waiting for the opportunity to jump in and say she was channeling, and I think that she was struggling with it. I don't think that she wanted to fully. I don't think that she allowed the spirit to come all the way in like it was really trying to. It's like she was struggling with it a little bit. You did a beautiful job, L'Oreal, and you absolutely channeled that message. I
literally, when I pulled the cards, I didn't say this, but when I threw it down, my mouth opened because all I seen was a black man. I felt like it was Jesus, but I didn't say that. But that's really how I felt. And yeah.
Relax into it. You were fighting it a little bit. Just relax into it. Just open your mouth and just let it come out. Yeah, you did. That was beautiful. That was beautiful to watch.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, Hugon, for interrupting.
But L'Oreal, you've also been making psychic awareness sprays, haven't you?
Yes.
And you've been taking that. Magic works.
I use my spray. It works.
Well,
and I hit the weed, so I hit the blunt too before I got on camera. So but yeah, it helped.
But no, very good. That was absolutely amazing. Absolutely. And Whitney, you did great too. Whitney, you and L'Oreal did great as a team. I'm sure you all kind of sort of know, but Whitney, L'Oreal, and the Raven will be teaching the White Candle Magic class this Friday. So make sure that you all tune in for that. Anybody that's in the mentorship, you don't have to pay for that particular class. Anyway, who's next? Who's next? No more volunteers? Oh, TT, she's gonna go.
Yeah, I just want to say something in response to what L'Oreal was channeling. I thought that was awesome. She really was speaking. I know she was speaking to others as well, not just myself. But like, that's amazing, because right before I applied for the mentorship, I was struggling with it. I was like, oh my God, and I was asking myself all these questions. And I just heard a voice say, you are ready. And, you know, you don't want to hear that, especially if you're fighting with it. If you feel like you're not ready, you're scared, you're intimidated. But I thought that was awesome. Like how she just switched gears. And as she started talking, I felt so much heat on me. I felt fire all over my body. And I said, oh my God. I was like, you know, she is definitely connecting with me as well as others. And I just, you know, I'm thankful for that, because that really gave me confirmation, you know, as far as other things that I was thinking. So I really appreciate that, for her allowing herself to be used in that magnitude.
I'm like really emotional right now, because I was feeling heat while I was talking, and I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I can't wait till y'all get to the White Candle Magic class. It's going to be really awesome. I'm so excited to help assist in teaching this class. Me and Whitney are gonna be in there, and to be quite frank, I was looking at Whitney while I was reading. I was reading to Whitney, so I was looking at her, and that's what was boosting my confidence. And so, yeah.
So I was like, go on, bitch.
Yeah, so I'm like, I kept going. I'm looking at Whitney like, shit.
I hope y'all pulling up and y'all all white on Friday too, cause y'all
oh,
got
yes,
it together
love.
right now.
Yes, love.
Y'all got it together.
Feeling godly, yeah.
Okay, so, all right. Thank you. That was beautiful. Now, shit, he's awake. Damn. So anyway, well, I was gonna say that when I've been mounted or anybody gets mounted, typically, like they've had to pour a bunch of water on my head because your body does get really hot, but my head gets really hot. I'm sweating, and that's what a mounting feels like. Especially, you're gonna get hot when it's a hot spirit. You're a child of the Dontor family, and Dontor is part of the Patois Nation, so they're gonna be hot spirits. Gede is hot. Baron is hot. Bridget's
My feet get hot. My feet get hot. And my hands.
And Dontor is connected to the earth. So those are going to be the parts of your body that will get hot, right? And so, which is why my head would get hot, being that you think about Baron, the skull, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what I want to say. We'll talk more about mounting and possession a little bit later, but definitely.
Okay, I wanted to ask you about that. Okay.
No, what Oshunfunke said was true. Embrace it. Just let the words flow.
Oh, I know that I could do it. I didn't want to call it mediumship. I was scared to call it that, but I didn't know what would be happening because I would see and I would hear at the same time. So I didn't know what to call that. But yeah, I guess it's channeling, you said?
Channeling, yeah. Okay, intuition. Everybody has intuition. Intuition is your ability to pick up on discrete stuff. Intuition is like when somebody makes a frowning face and you're like, oh, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you know that they're upset? It could mean, but it's like, when you're receiving information from a higher force, an outside source, a supernatural being, when something is not of you, when it's like really external from you versus an extension of you. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was that Baron?
I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, that's all you know. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we have to go off of. Okay. When you go through the initiation, when you find out what Loa sponsors you, you will know what Loa is coming out of you. For example, Manze Say has Basu and Cecile with her, but I think it's Basu that's sponsoring her. So she should get mounted by the Basu. That's what should happen. But if not, I mean, we won't know until ceremony. We don't know until the ceremony, until like you're in ceremony, and then that you animate. Once you're animated, we'll know. Or you might just faint.
Thank you.
Like really, you might just faint and pass out, and then like that.
Right. Okay.
So it varies. Yeah. Who's next? Let me see. Can we get Christina Bedardez?
I'm here.
Do you want to do a reading?
Yeah, sure, I'll go.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
So I answered the first question, which was I'm sorry, can you repeat the first question again, Dr. Shakir?
Let's just ask, like, what do your ancestors, you're from, oh yeah, you're in LA too. So I want to know,
I am.
Yeah, so let's do that. What do your, what is the message that the ancestors have about what's going on in, with the fires? And because we've done those practice divination sessions where it's like, we extrapolated a lot of information from one card, I want you to try to bring some of those private class techniques into this reading if you can.
Okay, so let me switch then. All right, so these are my cards. I hope you guys can see them good. So the question that I had asked was about whether the fires in California were caused because of the colonialism that happened in the past. And so the first card that I got was the Ten of Swords. And so what I see with the Ten of Swords is it's some type of ending. But what I take with this card is also a lot of deaths that have taken place. And so the format that I use is the format that you have, Dr. Shakir, which is, this is in the place of the spiritual challenges. Mm-hmm. So the Ten of Swords, the challenge here is the deaths that have taken place in the past. And so with my Three of Swords, as the personal answer, or the House of Intuition, is telling us that our ancestors are heartbroken still about what happened in the past with all the deaths that take place. With the House of Organization, I have the Moon. And with the Moon, I feel it's some type of mysticism. It can deal with secret societies. It can deal with intuition. It can also deal with the High Priestess, because the High Priestess is ruled by the Moon. But what I look at it with this card is that it's saying that this is a message from the ancestors, that this is something deeper, it's something spiritual. So it definitely does have something to do with the past and what happened with colonialism. So here I have the Six of Cups, which is in the House of Hidden Advantages. And I don't know if you guys see here in the card, but what I noticed was the person behind them, I don't know if you guys can see it, but he has like binoculars. And what I took from that were the men in the past, the explorers that came to California and first landed on this land to see what was happening here and what it was about. And you see the person there walking away. So this person here doesn't want to leave, but is being forced out. And as you can see, they're looking back because they have some type of feeling as if feeling betrayed in some kind of way and feeling cast out of their own land. And so I feel as though as well with it being the Six of Cups, and I don't want to go back to playing cards, but the Six of Cups here reminds me of the Six of Hearts, and the sixes are something karmic. So I feel like this card has a lot to do with a karmic lesson that California has to learn, basically of the ancestors and how they felt emotionally at that time when they were cast out of their own land. The next card I have here is the Four of Swords. And with the Four of Swords and it being the best path to take, I feel as though the ancestors are saying that the best path for us to take is to communicate with them. And if you see here, there's this man and he's on somewhat of a cement, but it reminds me of an altar. And so he has his sword there, and the ancestors, I feel, are saying it's time to fight, it's time to do something about what's happening, and we need to do something on our side, and they'll do something spiritually as well, which is what they're doing already. But I feel as though this spread is telling us completely that this is something that they are orchestrating because they're not happy about what's going on now and what has happened in the past of them being kicked out of their own land. And also going back to the Six of Cups, but it reminded me a lot of immigration as well. And a lot of immigrants, especially in California and Texas, being kicked out and being put in like inhumane situations. But back to the Four of Swords. So you have this man here who's there, and it seems like he's somewhat at an altar, and he has his sword, and you go on to the outcome, which is the Ace of Swords. So I take that as the ancestor saying, you have your weapon on your end, and we have our weapon on our end, and let's work together to fight this, to do something about this, because we're not happy about how the situation played out. And that's what I have.
Very good. First of all, I like that you use that spread for my spirit board. I really like that spread because I feel like it answers the question in a multifaceted way. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, for this to be a 6-card reading, like, this is incredibly detailed. It almost feels like you're reading bones. But then I'm remembering like the flexibility of the spread. So that means that you've been practicing with it in private. And not only that, you've been studying the playing cards and their associations with tarot. And so for you to be able to make those distinct connections shows that you have a mastery over what it is that you're saying. It's not like knowing the 6 of Hearts and the 6 of Cups are similar. It's not like knowing that information is going to make your reading more accurate. But it does help you to develop a trusting relationship with the. It does help you to develop a trusting relationship with the with your client, because they will believe your reading. What is? Sorry, this cat. But anyway, yeah. So that's my critique. It was very, very good. Very good. Whitney said very. Yeah, I agree. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Do we have anybody else that wants to go before we close this out? Tisha, you gonna sit this one out?
You talking about to get a reading?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I want to get a reading.
No, not get a reading, to do one.
Oh, to do one. I just got into the class. Hold on.
I know. We're practicing readings. We know you knew. Anyway, let's get who? Anybody? Nobody else? This is gonna be me? Do I have to do a reading? Close it out? All right, I'll do a reading and close it out. All right. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to get this cat to eat, and I got some wings, and he's actually eating some of the food, y'all. I'm sorry. This cat I done got it. He pissed on me today. Fell off the fucking table on the live today. Anyway. All right. So what's going on with these fires? Let's see what we need to say. I'm gonna do, get away from me. All right, I'm gonna do a 52-card reading. Okay, I'm gonna do a 52-card reading. And then after that, I'm putting my cat to bed. Seven of Hearts. All right, so what's going on? Okay, so this is a situation that can be changed or turned around. Okay, whatever's going on in California, they have the opportunity to turn it around. But it seems that there are people that there are emotions involved. So this means that if we think about local and state politicians being able to control the use of technology to prevent something like this from happening, and also to control natural, get the fuck away from that, to control the natural resource. Stop! Sorry, now he playing with the damn electrical socket. I don't know what's gotten into him. Like, it's just now he's playful. All right. So anyway, so the Seven of Hearts is saying that there's something at stake that people can have turned around, and it's going to require a spiritual means to turn around. So this is obviously talking about what y'all were saying with the ancestral karma that California is dealing with. The other thing I have here is the Six of Diamonds, which is talking about karmic payback or money being paid back. So this is talking about some form of reparations needed to be as a form of atonement. It's a Hearts, which is also talking, which is another card of karma. Okay, so these first three cards are talking about what can be done to reverse the situation. So there's going to be a form. The Six of Hearts is a type of repentance. So so not only do you need reparations, you need apology. I have the Nine of Hearts here, which is talking about wish fulfillment, which is saying that the spirits that are manipulating the natural resources of California to create these fires, they wanted this to happen. This is the fulfillment of wishes. So it's almost as though the witches or the warlocks that were burned at the stake prior to colonialization and trying to burn California down, kind of like the witch of Yazoo City, Mississippi. The Ten of Clubs is here, which is talking about teaching large groups of people. So this is a lesson that the state of California has to learn. The Eight of Hearts here, which is a card of the charmer or the card of the playboy. So this is essentially saying that the people, as L'Oreal was talking about earlier, the vanity that a lot of people are playing, not being deep, not being serious about what's going on with the situation. The Eight of Spades. The Eight of Spades is speaking about people having issues with authority. So the people in California are going to continue doing things their own way, which is going to keep causing friction between the spirits that are creating this chaos and the people that are living in the chaos. The next card is the Five of Hearts, which is speaking about disappointment, which is very obvious. The spirits are disappointed that they have to use these means to get their message across. The Jack of Hearts is here, which is also known as the Jesus Christ card or the card of the Savior. So this is also speaking about repentance. So they're doubling down again. So they're saying again, please repent. So it's matching that Six of Hearts energy. Except with this, the Six of Hearts is more of like repent for your karma. This Jack of Hearts is like turn away from your sin. So stop doing what you're doing. The Three of Spades. The Three of Spades is talking about working two jobs at one time, or people being double-minded, but also being worried and stressed out about the way that their lifestyle is. So this is speaking about the people in California being conscious of what's going on, but also not changing their lifestyle and taking it seriously at the same time. So it's like they're living in a perpetual state of cognitive dissonance, where they are in a physical paradise, but there's hell on earth because of all the fire. The King of Hearts, which is talking about the governor, saying that the governor needs to take better care of his people, and that the governor needs to put his people before his comrades. So this is saying that the governor is someone that's compromised by capitalism. Since he's showing up as a king, a Queen of Hearts. This is speaking back to Priestess Oshun Kincaid, that feminine energy that shows up. So this feminine energy put in place the governor of California so that he could not work as hard, not do enough work to keep these fires from happening and not putting enough resources in, not putting architectural infrastructure in place that will render them immune to these fires. The Three of Diamonds is here saying that California is going to be applying for money from the government, and also they're going to be applying for some type of scientific research grants to study the ecosystem. This is bullshit. All right, so the Four of Diamonds is here, so a whole bunch of homes going to be burning down. Simple. All right, Nine of Clubs is here. This again is them saying that if they do not want to see the desecration of these homes, they need to change their attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors about their ecosystem. Okay, this is also saying, this Nine of Clubs is saying, is also speaking, I heard through my clairvoyance, going without rain. So here it is that you can see, you know, the Nine of Clubs is essentially showing like raindrops, right? It's like they could go either way. It's like, you know, we could rain, could not rain, but bitch, it's more than likely gonna be a drought. The Two of Hearts, it's talking about how it is that they need to, that the state of California is going to try to form a wholesome partnership with a neighboring state to help fix the fires. The Eight of Clubs, they're very serious about making this happen, about getting these plans off the ground. Also, the Eight of Clubs is known as it's in the crown line, meaning that the Eight of Clubs is egotistical and very fixed in its attitude. So this is saying that California is not going to be progressive or new or even creative in how they're going to try to prevent these fires from happening. The King of Spades, which is a card of spiritual mastery, which is essentially, this is a male spirit coming down with a message at this point in time. Ten of Diamonds, talking about a financial inheritance, talking about, but this Ten of Diamonds is saying that the public is going to reap what they sow. And then we also know that diamonds deal with agriculture as well. So you can expect for the public, to be concerned with the depletion of the agricultural resources available in California, and also the Ten of Diamonds is speaking about domestically the U.S. as well, because we know that California provides 70% of the food for the U.S. So these fires are going to affect the produce that's available to us. The Joker, okay? So the spirits are laughing. The Jack of Diamonds. So California is still going to try to thrive through these circumstances, but the thing is that they're going through coronavirus and these massive forest fires at the same time, because the spirits are like, look, we need y'all to chill out, but they're really persistent in trying to pursue some type of entrepreneurship and making money when they need to slow down. The Ten of Hearts. Again, this is dealing with the public again. We're emphasizing the 10. The Ten of Hearts is essentially talking about groups, parties, and organizations. So they're saying that, like, it's funny that I don't know this to be a fact, but I would presume this to be true. The parts of California that are ravaged by coronavirus have this Ten of Hearts energy, meaning they're still partying and shit. And the other parts of California that are not ravaged by the coronavirus are probably ruled. So you either got the coronavirus or you're dealing with the fires. The Two of Spades, okay? They're going back to saying be in partnership with us, work with us, cooperate with us. Two of Spades is a card of cooperation. The Six of Clubs is a card of intuition, okay? So they're basically saying that they're like, you know what's going on, okay? You all know in your heart of hearts what's going on, and we told you all this intuitively. There are too many psychics, intuitives, astrologists, metaphysicians, and School of Metaphysical Studies, and Christian Scientology places in California, okay? Alternative spirituality, and they laugh. They're laughing at me. These are the ghetto, okay? The Ace of Clubs, which is Tisha Tucker, but Tisha Tucker has nothing to do with this reading at this time. The Ace of Clubs is actually talking about, the spirits are like, we have a bright idea. I feel like there's some sarcasm that's about to come. Seven of Clubs. The bright idea is to follow what it is that we think and what it is that we have to say. Not only that, the Eight of Diamonds, which is the card of material power. So an Eight of Diamonds person is somebody that their Eight of Diamonds is very similar to a King of Diamonds. They're very ruthless. They see things but one way, and they're very fixed in their attitude, okay? Meaning that a fixed person is someone that when you meet them, you're like, oh, their personality is really strong, but then you come to appreciate the strength of their personality, and it's like their personality hasn't changed. You know, you just got adjusted to it. You know what I'm saying? They became more likable to you. So that's an 8 of Diamonds person. So this is what California is trying to do. They're trying to adapt to a terrible situation where they have no material. They can spend all the money that they want to try to fix the situation. But bitch, until you get your spirit right, ain't shit for you to get right with you. The King of Diamonds, which is following up with the 8 of Diamonds, they're doubling down on the previous message, as I talked about the King of Diamonds and the 8 of Diamonds before in their connections. The Ace of Hearts, the card of self-reflection. This is speaking about the state of California, that all the citizens in the state of California need to go back and they need to go within. They need to meditate. Put on their yoga pants, drink from green smoothies, and meditate. The Four of Hearts, which is the Four of Hearts, which is the card of the family or the card of the mother. So essentially, this is saying that the coronavirus. What we're gonna hear is that like. There's an overlap here with the coronavirus, mothering, and these forest fires, and I guess it's about like save the women and save the children. So there's some consequences here today. The Ace of Spades. Okay, so this is saying that there's a secret here, okay, that they're about to reveal in regards to the mothers. The Three of Hearts. That the Three of Hearts actually represents the mother, the father, and the child. So this means that if you destroy the mothers, or if you compromise the health of the mothers, whether that's through you know, smoke inhalation, disenfranchisement due with housing, whatever, you eliminate the source of creation, then you've eliminated, you know, the problem. So it's like Mother Nature is essentially cleansing itself through the coronavirus and through the forest fires, okay? Whew. Jack of Spades. All right. The Jack of Spades, which is a card of the liar. So this is saying that the governor of California is lying about something. He's lying about trying to save the homes in regards to the housing authority. So it's speaking about what Dr. Proctor and Whitney were talking about. The Two of Diamonds. So there are corporations, two powerful corporations that control housing regulations. Or they are, no, it's not corporations. One is two entities. There's one entity that's controlling housing insurance, and the other that's controlling the rate, like where you can actually build the homes, okay, and the style of homes. All right, they're in cahoots with one another. The Nine of Spades, that partnership is going to be revealed, and it's going to be, people are going to try to sever it. The Queen of Spades, but they're going to still try to maintain it, okay? Even though there's going to be a movement of anarchy to divide those two institutions, it's still going to be in place. The Queen of Clubs. The Queen of Clubs is known for having karma where they end up having a miscarriage, or they have issues having children because they have a Jack of Hearts and Pluto. So typically a Queen of Clubs person is going to have a Jack of Hearts person in their life, or some heart male that's acting out as a Jack. But anyway, that being said, this Queen of Clubs is bringing it back to the Jesus part, right? Where it's like turn back, you know, turn back in the other ways. Also, we know that the Queen of Clubs is the card for the Virgin Mary. And in the words of Oshun Funke, and Mary wasn't no goddamn virgin. Mary wasn't no motherfucking virgin, okay? So this is saying that California's living in the fucking state of fantasy, trying to play innocent. Bitch, you're not innocent. You ain't innocent from a motherfucking thing. It's time for you to move on. Change your mind. Get it right. Here's another 10. All right, so all the 10s always deal with the public. And why do they deal with the public? Well, you think about the 10th house, Capricorn, okay? So you have the 10 of spades, the workaholic. All right, so the spirits are going to work overtime to try to purge the state of California, okay? The Five of Spades, which is the card of the traveler, okay? The card of movement. So they're trying to make they're trying to make that part of that. California will not be uninhabitable. I'm sorry. California will not be uninhabitable for animals. It will be uninhabitable for humans if the coronavirus and these fires do what they need to do, which they will. The Jack of Clubs, speaking about deception. So this is speaking about the governor still saying he's going to do one thing and not really doing it. So they're going to put forth some laws that they're going to try to put forth some laws that are immature and not really trying to solve the actual problem, which is you all don't have enough moisture over there, and y'all got way too much shit going on. And even though y'all trying to be goddamn eco-friendly, bitch, y'all got 13 million motherfuckers in LA. Anyway, all right, so the Nine of Diamonds here. The Nine of Diamonds is saying that y'all gonna lose all your money. All your money, your businesses, okay? So you're gonna have to start over, okay? You're gonna have to plant new seeds in these cities. Listen to me. Listen to me. That's all I gotta say on the King Club. Listen to me. That card probably didn't have nothing to say that. Okay, they probably haven't. I don't actually. Yeah, that's me. All right. So anyway, Four of Clubs. So the spirits are pretty much satisfied with this message. They're closing things out. Six of Spades. Y'all know what y'all's karma is. Seven of Diamonds. The Seven of Diamonds is the card of the gambler. Okay. The Seven of Diamonds is known for producing incredibly huge sums of money for people, especially during their Jupiter periods of their lifetime. So if you have the Seven of Diamonds in Jupiter, apply for as many loans as you want to. All right. The Three of Clubs, speaking about Oshun Funke. So they're about to say something about Oshun Funke, which is Five of Diamonds, which is that her message highlighted the chaos in Californian values. The Seven of Spades is here, which is talking about the health of the state of California is going to deteriorate. Sorry. The Queen of Diamonds here, they need help. This is the card of the philanthropist, okay? So this Queen of Diamonds is saying that they're going to receive a large sum of money that they're going to squander. And what is the final card? The Two of Clubs, the card of conversation, otherwise known as the card of fear. So the spirits that gave this message are actually very fearful of what's to come for California, for the state of California. And that is the 52 card reading. Sorry, y'all, my cat has been distracting me. I hope y'all enjoyed that.
You did that, Godfather.
Really? I mean, y'all did better than me tonight. I thought that was decent. But I'm going to accept your compliment.
I don't have the stamina. That's way too.
At all.
That was probably 20 minutes right there. I don't know. But either way, y'all, that's what I got. And so I love y'all very much. I will see y'all in the group chat. Okay?
Good night. Well, not good night. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thank you, Priestess Oshun Funke, if you're still here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Priestess.